yesterday we were discussing some stoichiometric calculations of some questions, and today we will continue back with that. One question we will take for stoichiometric calculation. Okay, one we had taken yesterday, one more we are taking. Next question, we are writing calculate the amount of water. Calculate the amount of water produced by the combustion of 16 grams of methane. Combustion of 16 grams of methane. Okay, so this question we will take. Now, yesterday somebody was asking regarding one thing, that water, about the volume of water. Who was asking? I asked.
Yes, ma'am, me, Aryan.
Aryan. Yes. You were right in that, because we were writing for all gases, and that time H2O was not gas. At STP we have to see that whatever is gas, that will occupy at STP 22.4 liters. Okay, so at STP water is not gas, then it will not occupy 22.4 liters of volume at STP. Otherwise it will have volume, some volume it will have, but not that volume. Okay, so we will not write it for water, but for rest gaseous substances we will write it. Okay, so calculate the amount of water produced by combustion of 16 grams of methane. Now again we need to write the chemical equation for it. Combustion of methane, that is methane on combustion will produce CO2 plus H2O. We have to write balanced chemical equation. So it is 2 and 2. Now it is balanced. Now according to the balanced chemical equation, first we have to see that what are the actual masses of these substances. So yesterday also we had done the calculation. Carbon 12 plus 4, that is 16 grams. Okay, oxygen 16. Okay, atomic number oxygen, mass is 16. 16 into 2, 32, and then it is again 2. So it will be 64 grams. Carbon dioxide 12 plus oxygen 32, that is 44 grams, and water, here it will be 2 into 2, 4 plus 16, that is 18 grams. Okay, some mistake we have done.
Ma'am, it's 2H2O.
2H2O. So what has happened here? Okay. I wrote 18 for one water. Okay, so it will be 4 plus 32. Okay, so that will be equal to 36 grams. Now, what according to question is calculate the amount of water produced by combustion of 16 grams of methane. Now that means we have to focus on methane and the amount of water produced. Two things we have to focus on. Okay, so now according to the balanced chemical equation, 16 grams of methane is producing 36 grams of water. Now calculate the amount of water produced by combustion of 16 grams of methane. So according to the balanced chemical equation itself, we have not to do any change in this question, because already according to the balanced chemical equation we can see that 16 grams of methane is producing 36 grams of water. In moles, if we want to report, we can simply say that 1 mole. If question is that how many moles of water, then 1 mole of methane is producing 2 moles of H2O. So generally stoichiometric calculations are very simple. Only thing is that you have to reach to the balanced chemical equation and then find out the real masses which are actually combining according to the equation. Okay. Now, during stoichiometric calculations, one important factor is limiting reagent. What is the meaning of limiting reagent? Just now we had seen one equation. In that equation, what was there? That there was a certain fixed amount of reactants which was giving the product. Now, if any of the reactant, as we saw in the previous reaction, that two reactants were combining to give products. If any of the reactant is not present in the required amount, which is required according to the balanced chemical equation, that particular substance acts as limiting reagent. Limiting reagent means what? Because of less amount of one of the reactant present, the product which are formed are not as according to the balanced chemical equation. To understand this, we are writing one equation. Mg plus O2 gives MgO. Okay. It is not balanced. We'll balance it to 2. Okay. Now, according to this balanced chemical equation, if we see atomic mass of magnesium 24 into 2, oxygen 32 grams, and this will be 2 magnesium 24 plus oxygen 16. Okay, so it will become 48 grams plus 32 grams, and then it will give 80 grams. Okay, this is actually according to the balanced chemical equation. Now, suppose if according to it, whenever 48 grams of magnesium will undergo combustion, then it requires 32 grams of oxygen to produce 80 grams of magnesium oxide according to the balanced equation. Now, if suppose oxygen is present less than 32 grams, less than it, then what will happen? That magnesium will not get the required amount of oxygen to convert into product. So definitely the amount of product will be less than 80 grams it will be produced. So in this reaction, when the amount of oxygen will be less, oxygen will act as limiting reagent because it is limiting or stopping the reaction to convert fully into the product. Similarly, if magnesium is present less than 48 grams, then also the amount of product form will be less because this is sufficient. But if this is less, then also the two will combine and not in the ratio of the balanced equation, and amount of products will be less. Then in the second case, magnesium will act as limiting reagent. So any of the reactant can act as limiting reagent if it is not present in the required amount according to the balanced chemical equation. Okay. Now, when we are writing balanced equation, they are always present in the required amount. Now, when they act as limiting reagent, this we have to see. Suppose the question is given for the same reaction, we will say 1 gram of magnesium, 1.0 gram of magnesium is burnt in a closed vessel which contains in a closed vessel which contains 0.5 grams of oxygen. Closed vessel, that means no other outside oxygen can enter. Which is limiting reagent, and what is the amount of product formed, MgO formed? Which is limiting reagent, and second is what is when any of the reactant out of the two is limiting, and when one of the reactant is limiting, then amount of product formed is not according to the balanced equation. So what is amount of product? Written that Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. The masses we will write at the top so that we get some space to write. 48 grams combines with 32 grams to form 80 grams of MgO. Okay. 48 grams of magnesium is reacting with 32 grams of oxygen. So 1 gram, according to the question, 1 gram of magnesium will react with how much oxygen? This we will find out. So 32 by 48 into 1. Okay, nearly roughly 0.67 grams it will come. Okay, that means if amount in the question is given 1 grams of magnesium is burnt in closed vessel which just has only 0.5 gram of oxygen present, and the amount of oxygen which 1 gram of magnesium requires according to balanced chemical equation is 0.67 grams. That means amount of oxygen is less than the required amount. 0.5 is available, required is 0.67. That means in this reaction oxygen is acting as limiting reagent because the amount available is less than the amount required. Okay, so oxygen, first part of the question, which is the limiting reagent? So oxygen is the limiting reagent. Okay, now when one of the reactant is limiting reagent, in that case always the product is formed according to the substance or the reactant which is present in less amount, because actually required is 0.67 but available is only 0.5 grams. So product will not be formed according to 0.67, it will be formed according to 0.5, and also product will not be formed according to 1 gram of magnesium because though magnesium is extra but amount of oxygen required to react with it is 0.67 and available is only 0.5. So no matter how much of this is present, we have to look at this limiting reagent for obtaining the amount of product. Okay, so oxygen is limiting reagent because 0.5 grams is only available. Okay, so now we have to calculate the amount of product. So according to that, what is there? 32 grams of oxygen produces, when 32 grams according to balanced chemical equation produces 80 grams of MgO. Then how much is available? Only this much, not this much. So 0.5 grams of oxygen will produce 80 upon 32 into 0.5. Okay, that comes out nearly 1.25 grams. So the product, okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So in all these calculations, actually you need to know is that you first write down balanced chemical equation and then you have to calculate their molecular masses, and then it is very easy. After doing these two steps, it is very easy to find the required answer. Now one more question we will do. 3 grams of hydrogen, okay, reacts with 29 grams of oxygen, reacts with 29 grams of oxygen to give water. Both of them react to form water. Now what are the things we have to find? Again the same things, which is the limiting reagent in the reaction, and when one of them is limiting reagent, then calculate the amount of product formed according to the limiting reagent. And third thing we have to find that what is the extra amount, or what is the, means if one of the component is limiting reagent, then how much amount is less for the reaction to complete. That 3 things we have to calculate. Okay, then we start with it. First step is H2 plus O2 will form water. The reaction is not balanced. Balanced chemical equation, then it will be 4 grams, then 32 grams, and then 36 grams. Now we can write directly. Okay, now according to the question given, the condition is this. According to the balanced chemical equation, condition is this. Now first we have to focus on reactants. 4 grams of hydrogen according to the equation requires 32 grams of oxygen. Then 3 grams of hydrogen will require 32 upon 4 multiplied by 3, that is equal to 24 grams of oxygen. It will require 24 grams of oxygen. Now in this question you see, according to balanced chemical equation, 4 grams is reacting with 32, so 3 grams will react with 24. But amount given according to the question is 29 grams and we require just 24 grams. That means in this reaction, oxygen is not limiting reagent. Whatever is available, less than it we are requiring. That means what? Hydrogen is limiting reagent, because for reacting with 24 grams we require 3 grams of hydrogen. For reacting with 29 grams definitely we will require more than 3 grams, but available is only 3. That means in this question hydrogen is limiting reagent. Okay. Now when hydrogen is limiting reagent, how much amount of oxygen is extra? Simply we can calculate by 29 grams is available and 24 grams is only required. So by 5 grams it is more. Okay. So oxygen is more. Yes. हाँ बोलो.
Question you have written 30 grams of hydrogen.
Question we have written. Question.
30 gram of hydrogen reacts with
3 gram of hydrogen, not 30. 3.0. Okay. 3.0 it is. Is it clear now? 3.0, not 30. Okay. So the extra amount of oxygen is 5 grams. Now the third thing is, what is the amount of product? Now again, always the product calculated will be according to the limiting reagent, because oxygen is extra. 24 grams we are requiring, means 24 grams is required, available is 29. So product will not be formed according to the extra amount, it will be according to the limiting reagent. So 3 grams of hydrogen is available. So 4 grams, according to the equation, 4 grams of hydrogen produces 36 grams of water. So available is 3 grams, because it is limiting reagent. It will produce 36 by 4 into 3, that is 27 grams of water. So the amount of water produced will be 27 grams. Okay. So these are the type of questions for limiting reagent. Clear? Okay. Now, next thing is that when we perform reactions, whenever reactions are performed in laboratory, those reactions generally take place in solutions. Why? Because solids cannot react. The atoms and the molecules in solid state are closely packed, so they are not able to react properly. That is why most of the reactions in chemistry take place in solutions. So when reactions will take place in solution, there should be different methods or ways to express their concentrations, that how much amount of solute is dissolved in the solution. To express this, there are various methods of expression of concentration. So now we will talk about the various methods to express concentrations. So expression of concentrations of solutions. Okay, means whenever a solution is formed, some solute and some solvent has to present, and generally what solutions we study are binary solutions, means two component solutions. One is solute and the other one is solvent. What we are usually studying, two component system. Okay, so for those, there are various methods by which we can express their concentration. The first method to express it is strength. We can express the concentration of a solution in strength. The unit for strength is grams per liter. Grams per liter is the way to express the strength of a solution. That means what? Number of grams of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. This is known as strength of the solution. How many grams of solute are dissolved in a liter of solution? That will give us the strength of a solution. For example, we just take example that 4 grams of a solute is dissolved in 250 ml. 4 grams of solute is dissolved in 250 ml of solution. So what is its strength? So strength is grams per liter. 4 upon 250. This is ml. Convert it into liter. So 250 divided by 1000. Okay. So that will be 250 into 1000. Okay. That will become 16 grams per liter. So this is the strength of a solution. 16 grams per liter are dissolved in it. This is the strength. And actually what is there? 4 gram of solute is dissolved in 250 ml of the solution. But when we express its strength is 16 grams per liter. Clear? So this is one method of expression of concentration. Second method, mass percent. Okay, means number of parts by mass of solute per 100 parts of solution. Number of parts by mass of solute per 100 parts by mass of solution. Both the things are taken in mass, in grams. The solute is also taken in grams and the complete solution is also taken in grams. That is, this is W by W percent. Okay, mass percentage we are calculating. Let us do one question on it, then we can understand. A solution is prepared by adding 2 grams of a substance, 2 grams of a substance in 18 grams of water. Calculate its mass percentage we have to calculate, or you can say what is its concentration. Now according to it, mass percent, what we have to do, mass of one component divided by the total of the mass of the first component solute and the mass of the solvent. That will give the mass, and because it is percent, so multiplied by 100. Okay, so number of parts by mass of solute per 100 parts of the solution is actually known as mass percent, or W by W percent. That means what? According to the question, what we have to do, if we want to prepare such a solution, then we will weigh 2 grams of a solute and we will weigh 18 grams of water, and then we will mix both of them, because now this time we are not calculating volume of water, we are taking mass of water 18 grams and then we are calculating, okay, then it will into 100. Okay, this manner we are calculating. So this is mass percentage. Clear? Then weight of one component, may be solute, may be solvent, divided by the total mass of the solution we have to consider. Clear? So how it will come? 2 upon 20 into 100, that is equal to 10%. Now very important thing to understand, that suppose you are said to make a solution, 10% solution you have to prepare, W by W. Whenever it is, you have every time to see what is written here. According to that only the solution can be prepared. When it is written prepare a 10% solution W by W, then in that case 10% means what you will do, 10 grams of solute you will take and you will dissolve it in 90 grams of solvent. So that it will be 10 upon 90 plus 10. Clear? Then only the solution will be 10% W by W. This we have to remember. So this in which percentage, in which quantity, mass, volume or mass by volume we are taking, this is important to understand. This is clear? Now instead of mass percent, if volume percentage is there, volume percent, that means V by V percent. If this is the condition that V by V we have to find, then what will happen? Again, according to definition, number of parts by volume of solute or solvent also may be there per 100 ml of, or better write 100 parts by volume of solution. Number of parts by volume of a solute per 100 parts by volume of the solution. That means what? Suppose 10 ml of a solute is mixed in 90 ml of a solvent, then it is 10 upon 90 plus 10, that is equal to 10 upon 100 into 100 for finding out percentage. 10% V by V solution. So this is 10% V by V solution we are taking. Okay. Third case, when it comes to the third case, then it is little confusing and it has to be changed. Okay, this is volume by volume just like W by W. Now the third is mass by volume percent. Okay. Now in mass by volume percent, what we do? M W by V percent when we calculate. We will take mass of the solute plus the total volume of the solution, VA plus VB into 100, because now it is W by V. That means what? If you are set to prepare 10% of W by V solution. Now generally when we were set 10% of V by V or W by W solution, what we were doing? 10 grams of solute dissolved in 90 grams of solvent plus 10 we were taking. V by V, 10 ml of solute dissolved in 90 plus 10 ml of solution. In this case, what we have to do is 10% of W by V solution if we have to prepare, we will take 10 grams of solute in 100 ml of solution. Means it will be VA plus VB, total volume of the solution. Suppose now in laboratory if you are preparing, what you are doing, suppose you have said prepare 10% solution of NaCl. Now one of the component is in grams and the other component is in ml. So what you are taking, you will do 10 grams of NaCl, you will weigh from the weighing machine, and what you have to do is you have to dissolve that 10 grams of NaCl in certain amount of water first. Let it dissolve in, suppose 20 ml you have tried to dissolve it. Now after you have dissolved it, because when some of the less amount is dissolved, it does not affect the volume of solution. But if more amount of solid is dissolved, the volume of the solution is also affected because of dissolving. So then the total volume of the solution which you will make up should be 100 ml. It is not so that you will take 100 ml of water and then start dissolving 10 grams of salt in that. Okay, you have to do it reverse way. First you will weigh the salt, dissolve it in some amount of water, and then make up the volume till 100 ml by taking the total volume of the solute and the solvent. Okay, so this is W by V. So most of the solutions in laboratory when you yourself will prepare are prepared by W by V method. One component is always salt, and the salt or any acid or any base which is solid in the powder form, and the second component which you take is water. So always solutions in lab prepared by you are prepared in this manner. You take the salt or any powder form, so acid, base, and then you dissolve it in some quantity of water and then make up the required volume. If you are asked to make up in 100 ml, you make up the volume till 100 or 250 ml and whatever is required. Okay, so this is the method for mass by volume. Then, as it is mass percent we have discussed, mass percent, volume percent. One more way of expressing concentration is ppm, parts per million. Parts per million. Though that it is rarely used, but we should know it. Similarly, just as in finding out percentage, what we do, that we take the mass. Suppose mass percentage we are taking, so WA upon WA plus WB. ppm can be in mass by mass, volume by volume percent, or other method as we have discussed. But when we have to find percent, we are multiplying this by 100. When you have to find parts per million, then this will be multiplied by 10 to the power 6. This is the only difference. And parts per million expression is used when very small quantity of solute is added in large amount of solvent. So that is very less amount. So to convert it into bigger amount, we just take, instead of in percent, we take it in parts per million. That is the only difference. 10 to the power 6 we have to use. Okay. Then comes another important method of expression is mole fraction. Okay. Mole fraction is ratio of moles of one component. Instead of saying solute or solvent, one component by total number of moles. Okay. For example, let us take, there are two components of a solution, A and B. Number of moles of A are Na, number of moles of B are Nb. And number of moles, how we find out? Weight in grams upon molecular mass. A we are using for component A, weight in grams upon molecular mass. If it is atom, then atomic mass. Nb, Wb upon Mb. Now, if we have to find out mole fraction, that how many moles of one component are present in the total solution. So, number of moles, or you write mole fraction of A. If we are finding mole fraction of A, then it will be number of moles of A divided by number of moles of A plus number of moles of B. And number of moles we can calculate by using this formula. Then mole fraction of A we can calculate. The same way we can calculate mole fraction of B also. Of B will be number of moles of B divided by number of moles of A plus number of moles of B. Also, we should know that if mole fraction of A you got some value. Okay, suppose we got the value of mole fraction of A to be 0.4. So, mole fraction of A plus mole fraction of B should equal to 1. Okay, because fraction is out of 1. So, the total of the, because if the component, the solution is binary, two components only are there. So, mole fraction of A plus mole fraction of B should be equal to 1. So, if mole fraction of A is 0.4, so definitely the mole fraction of B will be 0.6 and then it will be total 1. Okay, so either you find with the formula, or if one of the component is known to you, by subtracting it from 1 you can get the value of another.